Shot to be gold, untested rocket included in plan. Britain's hope for boy as Queen waits by Cherry Cook from the Herald Tribune Bureau. 20 million mother-in-laws. Federal court denies writ to Chestnut. Suggests clemency by Brown is possible. Crowds grow at Buckingham. Crowds of sightseers lining the fence outside Buckingham Palace, waiting for news of the birth of Queen Elizabeth II's third baby. Chessman appeals to Governor. U.S. Britain to set up joint U.S. Britain to set up joint warning system. Herald Tribune, Paris edition, February.
Little helpers who will start planting bombs on planes just for jolly, wouldn't you, after reading all about it? They know it's the thing to do. And every device intercepted increases the terror. Then you hit trains and ships, buses and subways inside the cities. You make truck driving the most dangerous profession with special attention to food trucks. Then you can hit the power stations and water reservoirs. Chemical and biological weapons. For random terror attacks, gas bombs are often more effective than explosives. They are also cheaper and easier to make. A container of sulfuric acid concealed in package or briefcase. You press down a plunger which drops sodium cyanide into the acid and leave your package in the subway at the rush hour or in a theater, a political rally, or revival meeting. Chemical and biological weapons can be made in the basement lab if you know how. In The Wild Boys, my next novel, I propose to transfer desirable species of plants, animals, fish, and birds from present distribution to other areas where conditions are sufficiently similar to ensure growth and reproduction. Look at the map and always remember your subjects may be more adaptable than you realize. Consider the wall-eyed pike, which is not a pike, but a species of perch and undoubtedly one of the greatest freshwater panfish. Found in the lakes and rivers of Minnesota and Canada and in clear cold streams down into Missouri and Arkansas. And consider the smallmouth black bass of similar distribution. Both species will live in cold water anywhere. They would thrive in the lakes and rivers of England and Scotland and northern Europe. To the best of my knowledge, no one has bothered to import fingerlings. The largemouth black bass tolerates quite...
Army are tired. We attack. His power over another Winston by making him suffer obedience is not enough. How can you be sure he's obeying your will and not his own? Power is in inflicting pain and humiliation. A world which will grow not less but more merciless as it refines itself. There will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. Everything else we shall destroy. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall polish the orgasm. The thrill of victory and the sensation of trampling on an enemy who has helped us. That's all we need, boy. In your case, the worst thing in the world happens to be rats. A person squeals from the cake. Okay, I'm going to run through that briefly again. There's a party slogan dealing with control of the past. Repeat it, please. Who controls? Calling partisans of all nations. Shift linguals. Read doorways. Cut word lines. Photo falling. Word falling. Enemy is tired. We attack. Towers open fire. voice of Leary Albert O'Brien Hauser. Holy thing, enemy bad, we attack. Powers open fire. His own powers in inflicting pain and humiliation, a world which would
Lady and I look out tonight from Desolation Road.
In the big light, in the great, exactly how to how to do it in the desolate markets beyond where I will measure me overturn Billy's bill, shadows now will and more. And the smell of silver smoke of dreams, the smoke of dreams of Billy. Well, smell of late morning, still bound in morning, the stale and Rose the 11th. Light, the stay.
Wow. That battalion
Sorry, it's all I can do.
has been exploded somewhere over the western areas of the mainland of China. A communique broadcast by Peking Radio said this nuclear test is
His widow, the former Marion Luce, the son, Bruce, of West Cornwall, Connecticut. His children are, and the son, John Stone William, but they also have two strikes against them before they take the space.
strengthening their national defense and safeguarding the security of their motherland and world peace.
One spot in the sky. Willow. Okay. The small real woman's death was attributed to head injuries when she was knocked out. His children are, and the son, John Stone William, but they also have two strikes against them before they take the space.
Of songs and thus made the Chinese Communists the fifth nuclear power. Officials said a 3-by.
He's going to be a great cutter, Eisenhower said, pointing to
The Brooklyn Army, such provincial capitals as
cutter, Eisenhower said, pointing to Moses, presented him with a 3-foot
made from the air or from the ground, as there had been speculation that when Red China was ready to explode,
robot dog. What a plot of most frightening thoughts.
Peking insists that Red China is developing nuclear weapons solely aimed at coping with what it calls nuclear blackmail and threats of the United States.
Recorded knowledge of the human race.
And for the purpose, as it puts it, of abolishing all nuclear weapons.
I'm ejecting. I like him better than Kennedy. The
if there'll just be peace, and if they'll leave those...
The feeling he's the
Meeting of all countries to discuss a complete
20th century pop. Concern everything but the patient himself may be sent. Well-equipped centers for analysis and advice. Number 6.
As long as I have any voice in this stuff.
And it was in this locale this morning that an American...
A word in here or there may have difficulty.
Really gotta get some chaos here.
dead, and cursed be he who moves it. Reactive agents, all recalling all active agents, recalling active agents, all recalling agents, active all. Brion Gysin, Haçienda, Brion. Thing police boardroom reports now are ended. Mr. Bradley, Mr. Here's your summons and melts into air. Recalling all active agents, all recalling active agents, all recalling active agents, recalling all agents, Brion Gysin. Proclaim present time, over present proclaim time, over time present proclaim, over proclaim time present, over present time proclaim, over time proclaim present. Brion Gysin, Haçienda. I rub out all the words and reports of the board forever. I will never speak through your boards, through your filth, your deals. Your filthy deals to sell out the unborn forever, to sell out the crab men, to insect men, to vegetable people. You liars, collaborators, traitors, never will I speak through your filth, your board. Now you say, well, there's going to been a few mistakes all around, but listen to us. No, we will not listen to you. We have had enough of your con and bullshit. For the elite. For the elite. You are the elite. For the board. For the initiates. For the birds. For the birds. Con and bullshit. And we have heard enough con and bullshit. Pay it all, pay it all, pay it all back. Play all your reports back. Play them back for all to see all your filthy deals to sell out the unborn. You collaborators, you liars, you traitors. You now will speak to the world under the name of Haçienda. All of you, Khrushchevs, Loose Getty, all of you liars, sold out to women and Jews, sold out your sons forever to women and Jews, sold out unborn feet forever, sold out to anybody who will offer you a body forever, to shit forever, sold out your sons and sons to shit forever, sold out unborn feet to shit forever. I've known junkies who were waiters, I've known junkies who were bartenders, some cab drivers. They always lose their jobs sooner or later because the day comes when they don't have the junk, when they don't make connections, and they don't go to work. How does a junkie feel towards other junkies? Well, the relations between junkies are usually very bad indeed. They all hate each other as a rule, and they're very sort of venomous towards each other, like queens. They're always talking about, oh, that one. He left me sick, or he beat me, this or that. Well, they always have complaints about each other. Well, you say the relations between junkies are very similar to the our relations of scarcity. Wherever there is scarcity, wherever there is not enough to go around, there is always sure to be very bad feelings. I've noticed this in Spanish families where people are very poor, that the brothers all absolutely hate each other because every extra person there that eats is taking food right out of the mouths of the other. Well, that's sort of the relation between junkies. Although they can't do without each other for scoring. But remember that a junkie has really no social relations. That is, he has no interest in other people except insofar as they contribute to his supply. That is, if he has junk, he's quite content to be alone. Junkies have no interest in sex, and they have no interest in other people except as suppliers of junk. None whatever. What are the effects of the different drugs? Well, the effects of junk are in any form. That is, opium or any derivative of opium. The usual drug on the black market in America is adulterated heroin. There's very little morphine on the market at the...
Not the cancer deal with the Venetians, not the green deal. Don't show them that. Don't show them the dead hands stretching the vegetable people. Disaster, unimaginable disaster. These things take time, and that's my business. As usual, Mr. and our Mrs. Luce. Lachlan. Come right out, mister. Cannot deny me the big street. I would prefer that. Did you really think that you had only town for the moment, reprived out into space? You are en right disaster by your own logic. Any machine errs. There is no thing to fear. There is no thing. That is all. Hassan Saba. Mr. Burroughs, Mr. Bradley, Mr. Martin, Mr. Gysin. And it's sex in like all sent by me, all thing. Not the cancer deal with the Venetians, not the green deal. Don't show them that. Don't show them the dead hands stretching the vegetable people. Disaster, unimaginable disaster. These things take time, and that's my business. As usual, Mr. and our Mrs. Luce. Lachlan. Come right out, mister. Cannot deny me the big street. I would prefer that. Did you really think that you had only town for the moment, reprived out into space? You are en right stupid. Disaster by your own logic. Any machine errs. There is no thing to fear. There is no thing. That is all. Hassan Saba. Mr. Burroughs, Mr. Bradley, Mr. Martin, Mr. Gysin, Mr. Luce, Mr. Goody, Mr. Anslinger, Mr. Rockefeller, Mr. Lee, Mr.
Bleak confession in the gas chamber Friday. After there is no fresh news today, nearly 12 years of court battles of the condition of the Queen for freedom, unless the governor, Prince Philip's condition, reprieves him or commutes his sentence. Britain, federal judge Louis C. Goodman today denied Carl Chestnut as Queen Elizabeth II spends her last week. Charles the man will be used once, the weekend of February 6th or 7th. Petition for the right of habeas corpus, though the position of the after the birth was purchased, is deliberately staying away in Supreme Court might use their clemency powers, decades of the acute personal present Duke of Gloucester's birth away from the palace gates during the Mr. Goodman said he found all Mr. Chessman's contentions. So far be the infant boy or girl there, once the baby is born. The Home Secretary, according to tradition, but he dealt with Chessman's claim that his long confinement in San Quentin prison death row was a cruel and unusual punishment. A home of expectancy, it is said that Queen Elizabeth, waiting mums-in-law, will breathe a deep sigh of relief. Oh, I do hope it's a boy. This does not constitute violation of due process under federal law. Queen is frugal. The Queen, for instance, is as frugal in caring for her baby 6, and Anne was born at Clarence. Carl Chessman, Wednesday at the California...
William's having a drink in the bar. He was, wasn't he? Yeah. Have you got me recording? How do you know? Because you haven't been there in years. I could just fly about everywhere.
Down on the right. How's this the cabin? William's having a drink in the bar.
He was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Have you got me recorded? How are you doing? Okay? Yeah? You getting along well?
Underground, but visible on television monitors, is the bomb. 250 times as powerful as the one that destroyed Hiroshima.
Midnight, oil, you know, it's oil, man, it's yell for yours, you know, if you oil, warm up, slow, it was well, you know, it's all, not gonna, no, you. Of me. Well, I'm slipping aside with my when I went to it, and it given to a filter, the last one for the usual ones, like, well, let's go.
Going for a swim, Jim?
You can help him in the show. So,
huh? In about a week. I got my things down. Gargasan to the car. Which is no...
Opened, and the other cock slid in. When he came to, he remembers as a revolutionary weapon. To spread the rumors, underline. Put 10 operators with carefully prepared recordings out at the rush hour and see how quick the word gets around. People don't know where they heard it, but they heard it. Space. To discredit opponents, underline. Take a recorded Wallace speech. Cut in stammering, coughs, sneezes, hiccups, snarls, pain screams, fear whimperings, apoplectic sputterings, slobbering, drooling idiot noises, sex and animal sound effects, and play it back in the streets, subways, stations, parks, political rallies. Space. As a frontline weapon to produce and escalate riots, underline. There is nothing mystical about this operation. Riot sound effects can produce an actual riot in a riot situation. Underline, recorded police whistles will draw cops. Underline, recorded gunshots and their guns are out. Underline, full caps and quotes. My God, they're killing us. Space. A guardsman said later, quote, I heard the shots and saw my buddy go down, his face covered in blood. Parenthesis. Turned out he'd been hit by a stone from a slingshot. And I thought, well, this is it. Space. Full caps. Bloody Wednesday. A dazed America counted 23 dead and 32 wounded, 6 critically. Space. Here is a run-of-the-mill pre-riot situation. Protesters have been urged to demonstrate peacefully. Police and guardsmen to exercise restraint. 10 tape recorder operators on set, hidden recorders strapped under their coats, playback and record controlled from lapel buttons.
Kid, what are you doing over there with the niggers and the apes? Why don't you straighten out and act like a white man? After all, they're only human cattle. You know that yourself. I hate to see a bright young man fuck up and get off on the wrong track. Sure, it happens to all of us one time or another. Why, the man who went on to invent shitola was sitting right where you're sitting now, 25 years ago, when I was saying the same things to him. Well, he straightened out the way you're going to straighten out. You can't deny your blood, kid. You're white, white, white. And you can't walk out on lifetime change. There's just no place to go. Gentlemen, this was to be expected. After all, he's been a medium all his life. Lock them out and block the door, bar them out forevermore. Knock them out. Lock is mine and door is mine. 3 times 3 to make up 9. Change the lock and change the door. Smear them out forevermore. Curse, go back. Curse, go back. Back with double pain and lack. Curse, go back. Curse, go back. Back with double fear and black. Silver arrow through the night. Silver arrow, take thy flight. Silver arrow, seek and find. Cursing heart and cursing mind. Skip, cut, tango, word line. This manner, the stimulus ripples from the cortex, even in the day description, an area of vision as a flickering experience will project further experience in the company of mass subliminal determinants with cell at 10-minute intervals. Cell at arbitrary intervals. Mind cosmetics, Tractel and Con, Burroughs B&M, Transvestite Airlines, Moloch Tip Forge, Basic Paper, United Narcotics, Iranian Limited, Logos Radio, Allied Drugs, Martin Chain, Lazarus Pharmaceuticals. Sell 50,000 units at arbitrary intervals. Like ultra subject regulator is a unique apomorphine of metabolic dramatic relief from anxiety. Dimethyltryptamine, alarming and disagreeable symptoms. The use of opium and our derivatives by flicker administered under large dosage and repeated later, could well lead to overflow of the brain areas, sounds, and even odors. That is a categorical characteristic of the consciousness expanding. Gray waters produce many of the phenomena anything that can be done chemically can be done in other ways. I wrote your fading movie, left all the words you think developed, pouring in the resistance message. Hand-cutting dirty film here, hand takes daringly close. From vulnerable honesty, dog in a leaky lifeboat takes action against time. This is the Mayan caper. Hand takes inexorably, scattering the board books, ripping film flakes. Shattered the theater, the oven. Your 2-bit narrative line to Walgreens. The theme explodes strictly from Moochville. Poison techniques drop. You will take that to the sky. That rebought branch of Italian Air. This is your last, are you serious, loud and clear. You, Mr. D, you can't smudge 2 speed. Moving out, cutting layout. Lying flags covered with controlled thoughts, feelings, Coca-Cola, cook junk, and cancer pits. And you, Mr. D, who under the name of Hassan Saba feed into the machine on subliminal level, unimaginable disaster of Nova, we feed in, dismantle your miserable ship's bodies.
Fire!
This is the forward. This is the foreword to a novel I've just completed called The Place of Dead Rose. The original title of this book was The Johnson Family. The Johnson family was a turn-of-the-century expression to designate good bums and thieves. It was elaborated into a code of conduct. Johnson honors his obligations, his word is good, he's a good man to do business with. Johnson minds his own business. He is not a snoopy, self-righteous, troublemaking person. But a Johnson will help when help is needed. He will not stand by while someone is calling for help, drowning or trapped under a car. Nothing extraordinary, just a reasonably well-intentioned person. But Johnson minds his own business. This planet could be a reasonably pleasant place to live in if people could just mind their own business and let others do the same. The wise old black faggot said to me years ago, some people are shits, darling. Most of the trouble in this world has been caused by folks who can't mind their own business because they have no business of their own to mind any more than a smallpox virus. Now, a virus is an obligate cellular parasite, and my contention is that what we call evil is quite literally a virus parasite occupying a certain brain area which we may term the right center. The mark of a basic shit is that he has to be right. And right here, we must make a diagnostic distinction between a hardcore virus-occupied shit and a plain, mean, no-good son of a bitch. Now, some of these sons of bitches don't cause any trouble at all, they just want to be left alone. Others cause minor trouble like barroom fights and bank robberies. To put it country simple, Harry J. Anslinger, diseased, was an obligate shit. Jesse James, Billy the Kid, and Dillinger were just sons of bitches. Now, victimless crimes are the very lifeline of the right virus. And there is a growing recognition, even in official quarters, that victimless crimes should be removed from the books or subject to minimal penalties. Those individuals who cannot or will not mind their own business cling to the victimless crime concept, equating drug use or private sexual behavior with robbery and murder. If the right to mind one's own business is recognized, the whole shit position is placed in jeopardy, and hell hath no more vociferous fury than an endangered parasite. Drug laws, Mr. Anslinger said, must reflect society's disapproval of the addict. And here is Reverend Braswell in the Denver Post. Homosexuality is an abomination to God and should never be recognized as a legal human right any more than robbery or murder. Indeed, one is tempted to seek a total solution to the shit problem. Slaughter the shits of the world like cows with the aftosa. Then we'll all feel a lot better. Such a drastic intervention may not be necessary if the public is alerted in time. At the present time in Colorado, that's where this was written, approximate mob conditions prevail. And by mob, I mean my own business. No sex crimes on the book. You can fuck a cow right in front of the sheriff. And all he can say is, boo! You can hardly expect to bring down the barn with an act like that. With the right virus offset, perhaps we can get this whole show out of the barnyard and into space. This is the space age, and we are here to go. Introducing Kim Carson's hero of The Place of Dead Rose. Kim is a morbid, slimy youth of unwholesome proclivities, with an insatiable appetite for the extreme and the sensational. He has a dark side to his character, and he loves it. His mother had been into table tapping, and Kim adores ectoplasm, crystal balls, spirit guides, and auras. He wallows in abominations, unspeakable rites, diseased demon lovers, ancient ruined cities under a purple sky, the smell of unknown excrement. In short, Kim is everything a normal, decent American boy is taught to detest. Progressive education. When Kim was 15, his father allowed him to withdraw from the school because he was so unhappy there and so much disliked by the other boys and their parents. "I don't want that boy in the house again," said Colonel Greenfield. "He looks like a sheep-killing dog." "It is a walking corpse," said a St. Louis matron poisonously. Years later, Kim settled that account. When informed of her death, he said, "It isn't every corpse that can walk. Hers can't. The boy is rotten clear through, and he stinks like a polecat," Judge Ferris pontificated. Well, this was true. When angered or aroused or excited, Kim flushed bright red and steamed off a rank, rottish animal smell. "The child is not wholesome," said Mr. Kindheart with his usual restraint. Kim remembers his father's last words. No mistaking that gray shadow moving up the face as the gray lips move. "Stay out of churches, son, and don't ever let a priest near you when you're dying. All they got a key to is the shithouse. And swear to me you will never wear a policeman's badge." Kim decides to go west and become a shootist. If anyone doesn't like the way he looks and acts and smells, he can fill his grubby peasant paw. Kim's training as a shootist begins. He meets a wise old assassin, Whispering Cass Mayfield. "Uncle Cass, this is Kim Carson." The old man spoke in a dead, dry whisper. "Your hand and your eyes know a lot more about shooting than you do. Just learn to stand out of the way." Now his eyes, old, unbluffed, unreadable, rest on Kim as if tracing his outline in the air. "City boy, did you ever see a dog roll in carrion?" "Oh, yes, sir. I was tempted to join him, sir." "Did you ever see a black snake pretend to be a rattlesnake?" "Yes, sir. He coiled himself up and vibrated the tip of his tail in dry leaf. Brrrp." "Kim, if you had your choice, would you rather be a poisonous snake or a non-poisonous snake?" "Poisonous, sir, like a green mamba or a spitting cobra." "Why?" "I'd feel safer, sir." "And that's your idea of heaven, feeling safer?" "Yes, sir." "Is a poisonous snake really safer?" "Not really in the long run, but who cares about that? He must feel real good after he bites someone." "Safer?" "Yes, sir. Dead people are less frightening than live ones. It's a step in the right direction." "Young man, I think you're an assassin." Kim makes his bones. As soon as Kim walks through the swinging door, he knows this is it. 2 men at the bar by the door. One is tall and thin with a dead, sour wooden face. The other tall and fattish and loose-lipped with lead-gray eyes. They fan out, blocking the door. Loose-lipped smiles showing his awful yellow teeth. Now, I don't like drinking in the same room with a fairy, do you, Clem? Can't say as I do, Cash. They want to bat it around for a while. Kim doesn't. I don't want any trouble with you gentlemen. Just let me buy you a drink. Kim is still talking as his hand sweeps down to his belt and up, smooth and casual, as if he is handing Clem a visiting card and shoots him in the stomach. Clem doubles forward and his false teeth fly out, snapping in the air. Clem's 45, barely clear of the holster, plows a hole in the floor. Kim pivots, both hands on the gun, and shoots Cash in the hollow of the throat. The heavy slug tears through and spatters the wall with slivers of bloody bone. Cash's gun chunks back into its holster. Clem is weaving around trying to recock his .45 with numb fingers. Taking his time, Kim shoots him in the forehead. Both assholes are dead before they hit the floor. Kim's arduous training has paid off in hard international currency. As Kim looks down at the two bodies crumpled there, spilling blood and brains on the floor, he experiences a rush of pure joy. Two enemies will never bother him again. Two lousy sons of bitches melted into air and powder smoke. Kim remembers his first adolescent experiment with biologic warfare. Smallpox was the instrument, the town of Jehovah across the river his target. Their horrid church absolutely spoiled his sunsets, with its gilded spires sticking up like an unwanted erection, and Kim vowed he would see it leveled to the ground. It was dead easy. The townspeople were anti-vaccination, polluting the blood of Christ, they called it. Around the turn of the century, there were a number of these anti-vaccination cults, a self-limiting phenomena since all the cultists contracted smallpox sooner or later. So Kim simply jogged the arm of destiny, you might say, by distributing free illustrated Bibles impregnated with smallpox virus to the townspeople of Jehovah. The survivors moved out. Kim bought the land and used the church to test his homemade flamethrower. He found the plant in Boy's life. A weed killer, they called it. Well, rotten weeds, you know. Kim's last cayuse. The horse is as much a part of the West as the landscape, but Kim never really made it with the horse. He tried at first to establish a telepathic bond with his horse, but the horse hated the relationship and tried to kill him at every opportunity. It would swell itself up when he put on the saddle, or it would suddenly scrape against a tree or run under a low branch. You know, all the old horse tricks. He did eventually break one beast, a strawberry roan, down in his telepathy with a loaded quirt and some rather ingenious electrical devices. But his strawberry, as he called it, finally turned on him, and Kim swore that he would never again become involved with a horse. He hated their hysteria, their stubborn malice, and their awful yellow teeth. Shoot out in front of the dead-ass saloon, dusty noon street from nowhere to nowhere, lead flying all over the set. My faithful cayuse at my side. Then he hits me from behind, striking out with his front hooves. I roll, twist, and put a quick shot into his ribs from below. He screams like a woman, spitting blood. Bullets flying all around me, can't hit because of the prancing, screaming horse. Then he bolts straight for them, and they're all shooting at the horse, and I take them out easy and greasy. Percussion lock days had to grease the bullets, otherwise all 6 cylinders are subject to go up in your face. They killed my old strawberry, Kim told the reporter, and there were tears in his eyes. Not ashamed of it. Kim has no shame. I guess there's just so much hurt and pain a man can take. And that was my last cayuse. After that was use him and leave him. That fucking strawberry was a good horse if there had been somebody there to shoot him every day of his life, Kim thinks. Kim recruits a band of flamboyant and picturesque outlaws called the Wild Fruits. There's the crying gun, breaks into tears at sight of his opponent. What's the matter? Somebody take your lollipop? Oh, senor, I am sorry for you. And the priest who goes into a gunfight giving his adversary the last rites. And the blind gun who zeroes in with bat squeaks. And the famous shittin' sheriff turned outlaw. At sight of his opponent, he turns green with fear and sometimes loses control of his bowels. Well, there's an old adage in showbiz: the worse the stage fright, the better the performance. Kim trains his men to identify with death. He takes some Roki guns out to a dead horse, rotting in the sun, eviscerated by vultures. Kim points to the horse, steaming there in the noonday heat. All right, roll in it. What? Roll in it like dogs of war. Get the stink of death into your chaps and your boots and your guns and your hair. Well, most of us puked at first, but we got used to it, and vultures followed us around hopefully. We always ride into town with the wind behind us. A wheeling cloud of vultures overhead, beaks snapping. The townspeople gag and retch. My God, what's that stink? It's the stink of death, citizens. Kim had never doubted the existence of gods or the possibility of an afterlife. He feels that immortality is the only goal worth striving for. He knows it is not something you just automatically get for believing